23 past 3. Jim Shembry is here with movies. He's also here with a fine Australian actor. She's the young lady by the name of Angourie Rice. Angourie, welcome to the studio.
Thank you.
Great to have you here.
I think we spoke to you once before when you were about to head off to America to make a movie with, and how cool is this? I'll try and hold myself together.
Go on.
Ryan Gosling and Russell Crowe.
Yeah.
So that would have been... It was around about grand final time, I think.
It was.
Not last year, the year before?
Year before, 14.
Yeah.
Don't make me remember because the
Sorry,
Swans got beaten by Hawthorn.
Sorry. What an enormous experience. How was it?
It was fantastic. It was crazy. I'd never done anything like it, and I mean, I was so nervous. Like the night before we started shooting, I was rolling on the floor and going, "Oh my goodness, I cannot believe that this is my life right now." Like it was insane, but I had the time of my life and it was great. I got to meet so many awesome people.
And working with someone like Russell Crowe, so that's the movie The Nice Guy that you filmed, isn't it?
The Nice
The
Guys.
Nice
Nice
Guys.
Guys. Working with someone like Russell Crowe, he has children himself, so was sort of fatherly towards you on set?
Yeah, he was great. I mean, he's a very talented actor, so it was awesome to work with him, and he was super nice. And yeah, it was awesome because he's Australian as well. I mean, he's technically from New Zealand.
But we call him Australian because
we call him Australian, yeah.
You know how it works.
So it was just really great to have someone Australian there who I could relate to. So
Yeah. And could you lean on him a bit if you were feeling a bit maybe out of your depth or you needed some advice or something like that? Was he okay to talk to like that?
yeah,
That's really good. That's good to hear.
How old are you, Angourie?
I'm 15.
Good heavens, you've achieved a lot at a young age.
Thank you.
But that's also, as I know, because I have a 17-year-old son and a daughter who's a little bit older, it's quite a heavy time at school. So how are you combining starting off your film career with doing your schoolwork?
Look, when I got back from America, it was quite difficult to get back into the school routine because I was so used to doing tutoring on set. So I had to do 3 hours of tutoring a day, but I could bank up the hours. So if I had a really intense day shooting, I could do maybe 1 hour and do more hours the next day. So it was really good because I had an awesome tutor who had worked a lot on kids' films, and so she was great. She could tell when I just needed a break, when I just needed to read a book and relax. So it was good. I kept up with my schoolwork. I finished year 8 in America on
Good
set.
Yeah, well done.
So, yeah, sometimes it's difficult, but I'm helped a lot by friends and family.
And what about, sorry guys, I will let you get a word in. She's just adorable.
We're right.
What about friendships? Because
Yeah.
girl, I know what teenage girls can be like. They can be a little bit jealous sometimes. So it's a balancing act. Have you got a special best friend or have you got a group of friends? And how do they react to you having this pretty special career?
So when I first started high school in Melbourne, I actually didn't tell anyone that I was an actress and that's what I wanted to do for the rest of my life. And someone Googled me and found out that I was an actress, and then it kind of blew up in a way that I didn't want it to at
Is that
school.
what kids do now? They meet you and then they Google you? Is that what
Yeah.
goes on?
It does.
I
And were they
don't
nice
know.
about it or some
Yeah.
people not nice?
Yes, I've been very lucky. I've made friends with a great group of people. It was difficult coming back from America because they'd kind of, gone their separate ways, and in year 9 a lot of friendship groups change.
Yeah.
So a part of that was difficult for me, but they all support me and they know that this is what I want to do, and they don't let me talk about it too much, which is great. So yeah, if people are mean about it, then I don't know. They keep it very quiet, so that's good.
Keep it to themselves and a good thing
Yeah.
too. So when did you said you were an actor when you got there. When did you get the bug? When did you know, I know it runs in your family, that your mother and is an
Yes.
actor and writer.
Yes.
When did you think to yourself, gee, this is what I want to do?
Well, I grew up backstage, basically. Both of my parents are in the theatre industry, and so I was just constantly going to rehearsals after school and watching these family friends act on stage, and I was thinking, oh, that's pretty cool. And my dad specialises in directing kids theatre.
Yep.
So I was kind of the test audience. Me and my sister, we would watch all of these plays over and over, and I'd come home and I'd recite the scenes and I'd know all the different characters and their voices, and I think that's when I kind of thought, oh yeah, this is really cool. I love it. I want to do this. And so I got an agent who we were friends with. She said, oh, I can get you work. And So yeah, I really enjoyed it, and I've been extremely lucky with my opportunities.
So far, so good.
What's Ryan Gosling like?
Lovely.
Good.
He's very charming, very nice. Yeah, he's just a great person, and he's fantastic to work with. He's very talented and funny as well, so it was great.
Jim Shembry's not in the room, but he is in the room. Jim, please.
You guys are having so much fun.
We're taking over here.
No, not at all. You guys are having
It's
so much
really
fun talking to her.
fascinating.
You didn't want to get in the way. Hey, Gary, I'm just interested to know, when you were making The Nice Guys, what was it about some of the grown-ups that you were dealing with in terms of their behaviour that you found, I don't know, a little bit odd?
Well, in America, on set, they have a trolley full of food and snacks all the time. Like, you have the normal meal breaks, and then you have afternoon tea, but then you also have this trolley full of snacks that's available to you at all times. And I thought this was just the best thing ever. I still think it's the best thing ever. I would stash chocolate bars in the pocket of my coat and eat them while I was on set. But all of the adults, they were like, "Oh no, that's just so bad, you know. I'm on a diet. I can't deal with this temptation." They didn't like it. And I just thought it was the best thing. It's so great.
Yeah, I reckon that's how you and I'd go, Dirty, if we were on set.
We would have had pockets full of stuff too. I reckon that's a smart way to go.
And, of course, you're playing an American character in this film. You play Ryan Gosling's daughter.
Yes.
How did you master the American accent so well that they gave the job to an Australian actress rather than an American one?
You have to answer it in an American accent.
Do I really?
No, she doesn't.
Yeah, you sure do. Come on.
Well, it's really great here in Australia because we have so much American film and TV, and it's really easy to master this accent because I'm exposed to it all the time. And it was really easy in America as well because everybody just talked like this. It was overwhelming, and I couldn't help mimicking it.
Yeah,
You're
and
extraordinary.
and when you
Thanks.
pass a compliment, you'll say, "Thank you."
Thank you.
They're perfect.
Thank you.
Spot on. Spot on. Okay, who do you admire? Who do you aspire not to be, but who do you look up to and think, gee, he, I like their work?
I really like Emma Stone. I watched her in The Help, and then when I was a bit older, Easy A, and I saw her in Spider-Man as well, I think. And I just think she's really great. I really enjoyed The Help. I thought she was fantastic in that. And yeah, she's someone who I think of as a role model. And in terms of schoolwork, I look up to Emma Watson because, I mean, she did that whole franchise and she went to Brown and graduated like 2 years ago. That's amazing.
It was amazing, yeah. And then what about, I mean, I suppose our mind automatically goes to Kate Blanchett, who's doing so beautifully, and being an Australian actress. Is she someone also that you look up to?
Yes, I haven't seen much of her work actually, which is probably not too good.
You've been a bit on the busy
That's okay.
side.
Yeah. But yes, where did she go to acting school? Somewhere.
Don't know.
I think my parents distantly know her from acting school and from theatre school.
Right.
So,
You've got a lot of catching up, obviously, to do in terms of actresses and so on. So there's a lot of time for that. And Gary, what about old stuff, like stuff from the 40s and 50s? Do you have any interest in those periods at all?
definitely. I love 50s glamour. I think that's amazing. Just all of those old films like from the 50s. I love it. And I love Marilyn Monroe. I think she's just so great. And I used to watch all of her films when I was little. Like that's what I would watch instead of Disney films. I'd watch Gentlemen Prefer Blondes and Some Like It Hot.
That's a great movie. Those are two of my favourite movies right there.
They're pretty funny.
Our special guest is Angourie Rice. Can we keep you for just a couple more minutes? Because we want to find out about where we're going to see you on our screens. And Jim Shembry, of course, is here talking movies. We'll be back in just a moment on the Weekend Break.
It's Jim Shembry's segment, movies. Haven't heard a word from him, and that's because we've got Angourie Rice in the studio, and we've heard a lot from you because we keep asking you questions. Angourie, it's great to have you with us, thanks again for coming in on a Sunday.
Okay, so what we need to know now is what we need to let people know is where they're going to be able to see you. So the movie, first of all, tell us what's the story of The Nice Guys, the one you made with Ryan Gosling and Russell Crowe.
So The Nice Guys is a mystery action drama, comedy, everything rolled into one. And it's set in the 70s, and it's about a muscle man and a detective who have to team together to find a missing girl. And it's all set in LA in the 70s, so fantastic costumes.
Yeah,
I was going to say,
love the
that'd be pretty
fashions.
darn good. Did they put you in a pair of flares
Oh, yes. Every single costume I wear has flared jeans.
and high waists?
Oh, yes.
Magnificent.
Everything is high-waisted.
So do you know when
those
that's
days.
going to be on screens here in Australia?
That will be premiering in America in March.
Okay.
I'm not sure when it will be in Australia, though, but I presume
Perhaps
soon
Jim
after
can help
that.
us out on that. When will we see The Nice Guys, Jim?
Later this year.
Okay.
How's that? for
It's
being
a bit
specific?
like after the tennis, mate.
Pretty
You know,
much.
Yeah.
Pretty much. I think it's in the first half of this year. But in cinemas, I think it's still in cinemas, is Nowhere Boys, the movie, which is the film wind-up of the 2 series of Nowhere Boys. Internationally successful kids TV series about a bunch of teenage boys who travel between dimensions from their small country town. Now, in the movie Nowhere Boys, and Gary plays a very interesting character.
Yeah.
You see, in the Australian film These Final Hours, she, like everybody else on Earth, played someone who was facing the apocalypse.
Okay.
In Nowhere Boys, the movie, and Gary Rice actually plays the apocalypse.
Oh,
She plays...
She's the scary bit.
Well, I'm going to ask Angourie to describe your character Tegan in Nowhere Boys.
So Tegan essentially is chaos. That's what she is. She
Yeah.
is a teenage girl embodiment of chaos. And she's just like any teenage girl, except that she has these huge, magical, dark powers that can turn the whole world into chaos. And she loves to use them, but unfortunately it means that everybody else has to get hurt, but she doesn't really care about that.
Okay. So she has no feelings, no empathy for anything.
No, not really. She just likes to have fun with her powers.
Is there an expression that she uses?
Yes, she has a death stare.
Are you giving it to me right now, Angourie?
Angourie, can you...
I'm getting a few chills. That's all I'm saying.
Can you give Grubby the death stare?
I can.
Okay.
I'm getting out of here. Terrified the life out of me.
do
It's not about scary people.
For those who are watching this on the website, if you can look into that camera, into the black camera, and just
one?
Yeah, the one right there, not the silver one, the one on the left.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, give it the old Angourie death stare. Oh,
And look, there's people running away from that.
chills.
Great work.
People absolutely getting the
So
chills
what's
from that.
next for you? What do you
Yeah.
hope to do next?
Well, The Nice Guys is coming out, so hopefully I'll be promoting that. And I just finished filming Jasper Jones in Perth, WA.
Yeah.
And that's an Australian film based on a book by Craig Silvey, and the film was directed by Rachel Perkins. So hopefully that will be out this time next year.
And are you convinced now, having made a few movies, including a Hollywood movie, that this is what you want to do for the rest of your life?
Definitely. If I'm lucky enough to get more opportunities, yeah.
As long as they come your way.
Now, Gary,
You'll be right.
we're just keen to know, given the generation that you are part of, where fame is so front and centre in the media, where you're getting more information about fame and where people can become famous very quickly
For doing nothing.
and sometimes become unfamous very quickly.
Yes.
I'm just keen to know at this very early stage what you're looking out for in terms of dealing with fame and how you're looking to cope with fame.
Look, I think the most important thing for me is just to stay grounded and remember who I am and who my family is and my friends, and just to remember that, you know, walking the red carpet and dressing up in these beautiful dresses, that's not what I originally came here to do. I originally got into acting because I wanted to tell these amazing stories, and so I think I just have to remember that. And I'm lucky that I have an awesome family and great friends who will never, ever let me get big-headed. So,
And they're always there to lean on. And they're always
Exactly,
there to
yeah.
go back to every time. And it doesn't matter how old you get, they're always there to get back to again.
Yes.
So that's terrific. And it is all the glitz and glamour. It's all part of it. But as you say, you didn't get into it for that. You got into it because you love it. Mm-hmm. Just continue loving it. Good on you.
Thank
Great
you.
answer.
Well, we wish you every success.
Absolutely.
Thank you very much for coming in and joining us today. We've got a picture of you up on our Facebook page for everyone who's wondering what the lovely voice that you're listening to, what she actually looks like, because we'll have to wait until later this year, Jim, to see The Nice Guys playing Ryan Gosling's daughter, which is an extraordinary role. Well done on winning that.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for joining us today.
Thanks, Angourie.
We're going to
Thank
take a
you.
Great meeting you.
quick break. We'll be back with you on the weekend break.